Muny in Forest Park.
Hi, I'm Mike Isaacson, the executive producer of the Muny, and I am sitting in the PNC Arts Alive gazebo here on our beautiful Muny campus. And I am here with Michael James Scott, who is starring as Donkey.
Yes!
So, I want to talk about Book of Mormon. Because
Yeah.
you left the Broadway company, Book of Mormon, took a little vacation to come join us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that is, every once in a while, or, you never know, but lightning sort of strikes a show.
Yeah.
And it becomes a thing that nobody anticipated, and it hits the zeitgeist, and it just becomes, and Mormon was that to a power of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a part of that show in its development, right?
Yes.
And so tell me about the arc for you and your company members going through that. Like, did you know?
Mike, I'm gonna say yes, but yes, timidly, because as we all know, it's a crazy business,
Right.
and it's literally, like you said, it doesn't happen a lot. So I just remember I had just finished doing Jerry Springer the Opera at Carnegie Hall with Jason Moore as my director, who and Stephen Aremus, who were working at that time together, and I was invited into this secret reading of a show that was the Untitled Musical project. And we basically like signed our lives away, like we wouldn't talk about it, but I got involved, and I got to read the script for the first time. Well, I think it was like 26 or 28 pages. That was it, and I remember on like the first break, I actually will never forget it. There was like a group of us around like a little huddle, and we were like, "This is crazy special, crazy." I have no idea. We were like, I have no idea what people were gonna think about this, but this is crazy special. So, thank the Lord. I mean, I've been very blessed to be a part of it from the beginning, and they kept bringing me on, and we gained people, lost people. Our producers are amazing. Ann Garofino and Matt and Trey, then when Casey joined us, how that all, just literally the whirlwind of just amazing talent that brought in Bobby Lopez, how it all happened was just, it was so special, and it was such a unique situation, and they also gave it time. I think that's what really was really cool to watch, was they gave it time, and it was their baby, and they really
Just nurtured
that baby. And we would come back, and everyone made, if you were asked back, if you come back, you were like, I'm gonna make my schedule clear to figure out how I can come back and be a part of this. I remember I was in London. I was the associate choreographer in hair in London, and went out there, and I left early, and Cameron McIntosh let me out early to come back and do the workshop, because
That's unusual.
Yes, and Cameron's lovely man, and was like, I know that this is important to you, and it really was. So I think when we did our first preview with an audience, with an audience, we had this thing, and we were like, oh my gosh, this is kind of insane,
Yeah.
and then thus the Book of Mormon began, and the journey began, and we all had no idea that it would be as big as it turned out to be,
So let's jump to Shrek.
Yes.
And I have to tell you a great moment I had. You guys started rehearsal, and it was like the first day. It was been a week ago Thursday, and that night I happened to be having dinner in the West End with Dennis Jones, the director of things.
Yes.
And
He's
I look
awesome.
across over him at the restaurant, and there's you, Rob McClure, and Stephen running down the street laughing. And I was like, well, okay, that show's going to be fine. I thought that was so great. I mean, there they were bonding 20 minutes into rehearsal. I mean, the first night.
Oh my God.
So how much fun are you having?
I feel like I'm stealing money, because it's to get paid to do this with this cast in the show. It's just so. It's so much fun that every night I go back, so I get in bed, and I'm like, is this real? Like, is this really, like, is it this fun, really? You know, like, I feel like a little kid. I mean, Donkey is basically a little kid, you know?
Well, yeah.
But it just feels the energy is so light. It's just light, you know?
Right.
It's all light. And Rob and Steven and Julia and John to tackle it. I mean, the team, I mean, it starts at the top, you know? It starts there, and John has just created this incredible environment. Both you and John, I mean, our first day, you know, at our meeting, just create this environment of safety and love and, you know, nourishment, and where you can just feel like you can play.
Right.
And for this show, especially, to have that energy has truly been incredible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Come
having
see
me.
him in Shrek. He's remarkable.